This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello there, and welcome to the 229th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled No Guardrails. None. Anywhere. We're just not going to erect it. And whatever little we had in terms of guardrails are gone. And, why do I bring this up? Because it's got to stop. I mean, come on. Can we grow up? I mean, who are these fucking adults sitting around in Congress basically kind of going, well, we don't really need to deal with these things. Not at all, okay? We're going to get rid of this and we're going to get rid of that. We fucking don't deal with weapons on any level whatsoever. Every other country on the planet, I'm not going to make gross generalizations, although I will from time to time, but this is, most countries really have a more civil and sane understanding of how to deal with weaponry. We have none whatsoever. We believe that the more weapons that we put into the hands of everyone, that everyone will be protected, and that hasn't worked out. And I don't know how many mass shootings there needs to be and how much we each time this happens. Why am I talking about it now? Because there really is just there hasn't been really a big explosion. There'll be one probably coming up in the next few weeks as the summer heats up and somebody just snaps, as they always do. But it's not the fault of the weapon. It's these people who are just, crazy, and they're the reason. No, stop it, okay? Just stop it. Because a lot of the people really do have a tendency to be, keenly laser focused on, destroying as many lives as they can in order to feel something in whatever it is. Who knows what it is they're trying to feel or to achieve by doing this. And all sorts of things are written about it. And we can't even allow the CDC or the National Institute of Health, anyone, or even colleges to, fuck them, take away their research grants that might actually look at what is the root cause of all this. No, the root cause is nothing we need to worry about. We do not need to worry about a climate crisis as we get pounded and pounded again and again and again. And look, I'm just going to repeat this again. Even if the climate crisis isn't real, okay? This is a garden that the fucking Bible, the Lord handed us, if you look at it that way, religiously. Just for the sake of argument, they handed a garden to us. And one of his, main things that I think he said, even if he didn't say it directly, was don't shit on the garden. Please don't shit on it. This I give unto you for your pleasure and enjoy. And what do? We shit on the garden. Over and fuck over again. And so you have a massive flood that occurs out there in Texas next to a river that floods over and over and over again. And the town of Kerrville had not set up any warning system. Ooga. So how do you not have that there? Okay? How do you leave a community essentially naked to that type of danger? Huh? Because there's no reason for guardrails, none whatsoever. And we still don't know. Boy, well, they're taking out all these weather people. Yeah, that may be the reason. That's certainly part, but deeper than that. Because news is now like, it takes 3 or 4 days for them to kind of gather information for reasons that escape me. And so by the time they gather it, people have gone on to another trauma story that they look at and don't really catch the fact that downriver, I guess it is. I do not know enough about rivers, but I do know quite close to Kerrville, where there was flooding. The gentleman there spoke about the fact that he was able to get a system, one that would blast out over the community when there was flooding might be imminent, that there was danger. And he was proud of the fact that no one died there. No one. 120 people die. There is, in some quarters, they do say that there was money that was given under Biden and Obama for this, and that the state of Texas did not use it. And that they basically, Kerrville had asked for it, and the state of Texas said no. Look, I don't know. I don't know who's telling the truth anymore. I do know that the fact that there was nothing there is unbelievable. What is that? It's called living without a guardrail. We're really good at being Monday morning quarterback. Well, the shit hit the fan, and we should have really, and now we'll do this. And in the most ludicrous of guardrails that we do put up, we tell people to take their shoes off at the airport, and every fucking citizen of this country knew that idiot who kind of tried to blow the plane up with his shoes would be the last time we'd see that. Okay? And for fucking ever, we have been taking our shoes off. And Hosanna, we are now free. All who enter the airport to wear those shoes. Jesus fuck, huh? Because, well, the reason is because we're better at this thing, because we really are good at searching other things, so we don't need to. No, don't tell me it's because we're better at the other end. We shouldn't have been fucking doing it. We were wasting our time, effort, energy, all right? And making people nuts and forcing Americans to discover the slip-on. Hence the Skechers ad now becomes nearly meaningless because, they really? Yeah, really. Because the people, I believe, in part were buying them so they can get through that fucking line as fast as they could. That was the guardrail. That's where we put guardrails up, the dumb guardrail. And of course, there was the argument that the weather bureaus had a number of folks taken out, so we're not going to have the type of warning system that we definitely need in place. Why? Because we had to fire them in order to save enough money to be able to, to create a guardrail for the wealthy, so that they certainly could always have everything that they need, so that they would never have to go to bed hungry, so that they would never have to worry about their third or their fourth homes, or the yacht, or that sense of pride that they have in that all that they've gathered. We cannot undermine that in any way, shape, or form. No, even if we sacrifice the potential of saving hundreds of lives in case of tremendous storms, which might occur. But why? Because there appears to be something happening with the climate. But don't worry about that. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to try to really kind of become an energy efficient country. It is the mind just boggles. All the guardrails are down. Congress, which is supposed to be the guardrail, even if the person that is your party guy, but over the last 50 years or so, that's gone out the window. You're always going to be fighting for that person, and it just eroded and corroded until now it's like, seriously, shit is occurring that should not be occurring, and I am sorry. All right? The courts are supposed to be there to be the guardrail. They're the guardrail from Congress. They're the guardrail from the president. The Congress is the guardrail from the president, and to keep some sort of sense of balance with the court, and the president is supposed to. The executive branch is supposed to be the guardrail from Congress and from the courts. This is not supposed to be where the president is supposed to be able to do whatever the fuck the president wants. All right? Come on, people. Come on. The guardrails are down. Why would we bother? Just staggering. Of course they're down. They're so far down that we got 1.5 million New Yorkers 1.5 million New Yorkers will probably lose a chunk of their, well, will lose their health insurance. Okay. We're the state that's supposedly going to be hit. I live in New York. 1.5 million, 1.5 million people. Why should they be put through that? Take away their guardrail in terms of, being able to pay for the medicine so that they can, and for the medical help that they desperately need at times. We all need at times. Everyone always needs it, unless you're lucky enough to never have any problems whatsoever and live into your 70s and 80s and fall asleep healthy and just, pass away that night just from, natural causes. Come on. Leaving them naked to the howling of disease and pestilence. Fuck you. And then somebody apparently passed away from the bubonic plague in Arizona today. Like, it's just, if that's true, man, oh man. And we don't need to worry about no need to vaccinate, please, especially when it comes to the measles. All right, better you're taking vitamin A, because the measles cases at high in the U.S. Raising an alarm. With measles cases are up. Okay, so I'm sure it's just really. Just don't worry about it. Well, those vaccines are really the thing that shut the fuck up when it comes to measles, all right? We eradicated it in this country, you fucking idiots. This is beyond stupid. We are living beyond. There isn't even a place where stupid exists like this, It's staggering. Staggering. The President of the United States, I missed this, advised the graduating class of West Point to avoid trophy wives. If it's in a book, I'm saying, I will repeat it for the 1,000th time, in a book of fiction, if the President of the United States were speaking to the graduating class from West Point, you'd have to think it's riotous that of all the advice that he would give them, that he would, he'd be sure to tell them that to avoid trophy wives. The guys who wish deep in their hearts to serve our countries. I don't think they're looking after I think they already know this. I think it's instinctive. You don't marry a trophy wife unless you have cash so you can marry a trophy wife. The thrice married commander-in-chief, whose third wife spends little time with him, I don't know about that. She seems to be popping up more. Warned cadets that seeking glamorous young replacements doesn't work out too well. I must tell you, a lot of trophy wives doesn't work. They must have just been thrilled to get that kind of advice. Be sure that you, don't marry a trophy wife. Just please. You've got, and whatever you do, don't get vaccinated and don't vaccinate your children for measles. And that's what I got to tell you. Really, please, what is this? Where does this come from? How do we live like this? Huh? Stunning. Just fucking stunning. And there are no guardrails. Nowhere. Turn wherever you like. The California mayor, this is someone who's supposed to be, protect all of the people in his community. Says he wants to give homeless people all the fentanyl they want to purge them. This is just, how am I even reading this? How is this fucking in print? Huh? He wants them, they give him all the fentanyl they want to purge them from his city. He can't figure out any way to do it, like maybe helping them. Huh? You couldn't do that? Rex Paris, Republican mayor, Rex Paris, Republican mayor of Lancaster, which I believe I performed there, concedes that it's harsh to encourage the fatal overdoses of homeless people who commit crimes. But it's my obligation as the mayor of the city of Lancaster to protect the hardworking families that live here. You live there. That's his solution. Kill them. Huh? Wait, really? No guardrails. None at all. Can elect somebody who is not even looking at those out there who did learn nothing from history. What fucking school did he go to? What church is he at? What kind of unbelievable black masses does he? I think you would say we're going to give the homeless fentanyl, all the fentanyl they want. Jesus fucking son of a bitch. No guardrails, not even a guardrail from those who govern us. Nothing. Naked to the wind, naked to the howling. God. And of course, as always, going back to the idea that we really know what we're doing with guns in this country, and we don't, and we don't, and we don't. And I don't care anymore. There is no argument. I don't want to hear it, okay? Send in all you've got to say about it, okay? If that's really the thing that you think is important, is to make sure everybody has a fucking gun and it's loaded. Guess what? You're wrong. The Texas House of Representatives has approved a bill that would let voters carry concealed firearms into polling places. Once again, that's really funny if it's in a fictional book about the decline and fall of a country. Huh? You kidding me? Carrying a gun into a polling place at this point in time? Is anybody? What the fuck? The move comes as poll workers in Texas and nationwide have reported a rise in the frequency of death threats and physical assaults, and everybody knows this is true. In a letter, civil rights and gun safety groups pleaded because why do they have to plead? Because there is no guardrail from those who govern them. They're pleading with legislators to reject the bill. All right, polling places that are and must remain neutral, shouldn't they? Huh? Non-intimidating environments where voters can exercise their constitutional right free from fear or coercion. The bill passed 83-50 and now goes to the Senate. And I don't know if it was voted on there yet or not, or what they voted, and I don't give a shit. The fact that it went that far is astonishing. We are a fucking group of depraved lunatics, okay? We are leaving ourselves, okay, without a guardrail to those who are supposed to be at least keeping an eye on our fucking safety. And once again in Texas, as it makes its run to become the Florida of this decade, son of a bitch. Oh, and so that's what I got. That's it. There'll be more coming next week. And I am preparing, even as we speak, to get the fuck out of here and go to South Africa, where I will look at animals. That's right. And hopefully that will give me more insight into, at least with them, there is a hierarchy that makes some sort of sense. I'll talk about it when I get back. I do know that I was remiss in terms of my comedy and in terms of my analysis of things when I returned from my last, when I went on a safari and had was lucky enough to be able to watch the Great Migration. And I should have been, I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring that to talk about when I'm back in the country and doing those final touring shows. And hopefully Sammy will be with me, and he'll be poking his head in here, probably during the last episode, or who knows, maybe just doing a little section himself. I think you'll enjoy these rants. And maybe some of them you won't. There was one that irritated me this week, but it's really, I'm even glad that I got it. And so let's wrap it up. Thank you for the privilege and the pleasure of spending time with you. And being able to read the rants that you send in. Please continue to send them. Get it off your chest, whatever it is that is enraging you. And remember that it's important to note that an inanimate object is just as vital a target, more so than this great divide we live in and tear each other up. I think next week we'll be talking about the incredible rage that's occurring over Superman. Stop it. Wow. Please let us grow up. Huh? This is all very simple. We all want the same things. I hope you have a terrific week. That's it. That's all I got to say. Take care. Rich Serino has something to say about tacos. I have never had anyone really rant about tacos. So Rich, take it away. And I expect there'll be some major reactions. Dear Mr. Black, I enjoy your rants and those of your audience and appreciate your invitation to contribute. Here goes. Feel free to stop me if you've heard this before. Tacos. Fuck tacos. Whoever designed the tacos is either an idiot or just a vandal. What the fuck? Look at the design of this thing. Heap tiny diced vegetables and a minced meat-like filling that stains. That's important. Into a brittle corn shell. A shell that's open on both sides. Consider the physics. Raise one end toward your mouth. What must the other end do? Here's a clue. Gravity never sleeps. It points down towards your crotch, ready to dump. So what do? Tilt your head sideways to keep this contraption level? Go ahead. Look like an idiot. Tilt your head. Take a bite. The shell will crack from end to end, dropping its contents directly onto your crotch. Congratulations. Gravity 1, you 0. Even better, get your taco at a drive-through restaurant so you can plaster your shirt, your crotch, your arm, and the seat of your car. Get some for the kids, too. At least they will have fun while destroying the rest of your vehicle's interior. If I ever again visit a drive-through taco stand, the server can just sling the shell and filling straight into my face. No packaging necessary, just to save me the effort of spilling it all myself. I would deserve it. Fuck tacos and fuck me forever attempting to eat another one. Thank you for your attention and for this unique opportunity. Best wishes for a not terrible trip to South Africa. Rich Serino. Well, thank you, Rich. And I have a feeling people will be screaming about it. I've had tacos where they've served it and it has not been in that hard shell. And a lot of people seem to be able to navigate them. And I have been able to do that. But I understand your complaint, and I look forward to others who will either support your concept or come right at you, Rich. And I'm sure you'll be ready for it. Thank you very much. My tour manager, Ben Brewer, loves them. And I think would be willing to give you a demonstration. We'll see. We shall see. Jeremy J. Wow. Wowie, wow, 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 wow. That's all I can say. Here we go. All righty. Babe, I love you, but why can't you be honest with me and tell me that you either A, don't want me no more, or B, you don't want sex anymore? I've always understood that after our youngest son was born, that and your drive went into the toilet, that you don't want it like that anymore. I understand that, but what about me? I always try and do whatever it is you want, but Why can't I get the same energy in return? Whenever I try to talk to you about it, it turns into an argument. When I try to come up with solutions that would work for both of us, you're not interested. So why not tell me the truth? We both know this is where it's headed. No, I won't leave you or go behind your back or nothing like that. I just want to know the truth so I can figure out how to navigate the rest of our marriage the best way possible. No, I wasn't enthused about getting married, but when I said I do, I committed myself to you for life or as long as you will have me. And like with any relationship, you go through stages. I understand that. I've stood next to you for 17 years, and I don't plan on that changing, even through this. Jeremy. Wow. Wowie wow. Wow, Jeremy. You said it. You said what you had to say, and let's see what folks have to say about what you had to say, if they do. Or maybe they'll just like me go, whew. That you want to remain true to the marriage and your vows, and not a lot of people do that. And I would say by the nature of this, you love her. I hope it all works out, Jeremy. I sure do. From Terry Sykes, here we go. Advertising has gotten way out of hand. That's not really news. This shit has been growing exponentially since the advent of satellite TV, 800 streaming channels, and of course, social media. Back when I was a kid and our family had a black and white TV powered by kerosene and a crank on the side, there were only 3 channels and no remote. The horror. The horror. The horror. That's the way you say it. But TV advertising was relatively benign back then. The most controversial ad topics were irregularity and the maiden form bra. Irregularity was not explained in glorious detail like today, where literally every kind of shit consistencies are there for you to ponder. Back then, you weren't going to fucking die if you didn't buy new and improved Pepsi toothpaste. Even if it was new and improved, I have on good authority from a friend at Procter & Gamble that all toothpaste then and now are basic variations on soap and sand. But no one has developed cancer from toothpaste. I imagine if you ate an entire tube, you'd have a mini stomach and then irregularity. But now, thanks to our new and improved head of the Department of Health and Human Resources, cell phones can give you cancer. Wasn't that debate settled a few years ago? Was RFK Jr. even awake back then? Shit. The same things were said about microwave ovens and color televisions and the deadly amounts of radiation they emitted. You know what else emits radiation? The fucking sun. Try to get along without it, you motherfucker, huh? But let's dredge up this cell phone debate once again when nobody asked you. Now we have these endless commercials about some sticker or patch you can put on your phone to keep you from dying within the next 2 weeks. Something smells fishy about this whole enterprise. Another scare tactic from the Trump cabinet and a cottage industry is born from Kennedy Incorporated. And you guessed it, it's something we use and are exposed to every day. Plastic. Specifically, microscopic shards of plastic from water and soda bottles. Even the utterly terrified are getting rid of their plastic cutting boards or face certain death. Maybe the RFK brainworm can be placed in our nose to travel and eat the shards of plastic in our brain. Meanwhile, I'm going to go buy a pack of cigarettes. Okay, Terry. I do think the plastic thing is a little something to worry about, but definitely, I think RFK is bothering you, and certainly for a reason. And thanks for sharing. Here's one from Joe Bordonardo. I hope I got that right. Took me 3 times, and I'm still not sure I'm close. But thank you, Joe. Short, quick, to the point. My husband is Italian-American, born here. Both of his grandfathers came to America via Ellis Island. I'm going to dress him with a straw hat and mustache and have him walk in and out of Home Depot and see if he gets detained or questioned. Then I'll sue for profiling. Okay. Wow. Someone's in a rage, and I think some of you share these feelings. I've been a big fan since I was in high school. If it weren't for my horse as an expression used to this day to describe something completely detached from reality or idiotic. I don't know if you'll read this. I am, though. I'm probably repeating a lot of people. At least I hope I am. I'd appreciate it if you kept this anonymous if you decide to read it publicly. I respect your wishes. I am respecting them. I served 20 years in the Army as an infantryman, 8 years regular Army, and 12 years in the Texas National Guard. I did 15 months in Iraq and 12 months in Afghanistan, along with non-combat deployments to Kuwait, Somalia, and Djibouti. What follows is a list of things I've noticed over the past 20 years. Law enforcement equals Gestapo. Law enforcement personnel are inherently bullies and cowards. Lawyers manipulate the law based on what benefits them with no regard for the truth. Justice is a bedtime story we tell ourselves to make us feel better about the victories of evil. This country is controlled. Justice is inversely proportionate to the amount of money someone has. This country is controlled by oligarchs that identify more with their wealth than nationality. Might makes right. Money does buy happiness. Republican equals fascist. Democrat equals clueless. Politician equals hypocrite. News equals spin and lies. Evangelical equals idolater, i.e. Trump. Patriotism is a punchline. Civic duty isn't profitable. Those with a sense of civic duty are mocked. This country was settled by religious zealots, predatory entrepreneurs, and people willing to be the prey of the aforementioned zealots and entrepreneurs because they had nothing in the old country and decided to roll the dice. The classic American dream is dead. The new American dream is simply survival. That's the American nightmare. If this country was a person, I'd put it out of its misery with a bullet to the head. Well, I can certainly understand some of your feelings here. I'm not going to get into an argument about them. I think some are a little harsh, to say the least. I am really glad you shared it. I look forward to hearing what folks have to say about it. I hope it helps you to get it off your chest. As I receive, I'm sure that there are others who will certainly chime in here. And thank you again for sending this in. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.